Hi friends, we are back with our Beginner's Bible. Today we are actually going to do two stories that go together. The first one is Jesus fed thousands. Actually, it was roughly about 5,000. This comes from Matthew 14:13 through 22, Mark 6:30 through 44, Luke 9:10 through 17, and John 6:1 through 15. So this is found in all four of the Gospels. So all four of the books that Jesus is in is where it is found. Jesus and his disciples were tired. They needed a quiet place to rest. So they got onto a boat and pushed off from the shore. The crowd followed the boat. Over 5,000 people had come to see Jesus. Even though he was tired, Jesus wanted to help them. He climbed out onto the boat and he began to bless and heal many people. Later that day, the disciples said to Jesus, "It's getting late and these people should go home and eat dinner." He had been preaching to them all day long. Jesus replied, "We can feed them. See if anyone has food." The disciples found one boy. He had 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. And Jesus said, "Bring the boy to me." The disciples asked, "How will so little food feed so many people?" Jesus said, "You will see. Have the people sit down." Then Jesus took the bread and gave thanks to God. His disciples gave bread and fish to everyone. To their surprise, 12 baskets were left full. They started with 5 loaves of bread and 2 small fish. And Jesus blessed them and gave it to everybody. And they had 12 baskets full of food still left over after. That is amazing. The second story of today is Jesus walks on the water. This comes from Matthew 14:22 through 33, Mark 6:45 through 51, and John 6:15 through 20. So this is found 3 different places in the Bible, in Matthew, Mark, and John. And it comes shortly right after feeding of the 5,000. Jesus told his disciples to go on ahead of him. So he just got done feeding all of those people and just got done preaching to all of those people. And Jesus said, "Go on, you go, and I will catch up with you." Then Jesus walked up to the mountainside to pray. Dark storm clouds filled the sky. Jesus could see the disciples on the boat. They were having trouble. So they were out on the boat, and the wind started to pick up, and the waves started to toss them to and fro because there was a storm coming. The wind swooshed, and the waves sloshed, and the boat was tossed about. Suddenly, the disciples saw someone walking on the water towards them. They thought it was a ghost. Jesus called out to them, "It is I." How many times have we heard, "Do not be afraid" in the Bible from the angels or someone from God saying, "Don't be afraid, it's okay"? The disciples were still not sure. Peter said, "If it is really truly you, Jesus, let me walk out to you." And Jesus replied, come to me." Peter stepped out of the boat. He began to walk on the water towards Jesus. Then Peter looked at the wind and he looked at the waves and he suddenly became afraid. Suddenly he started to sink. "Jesus, save me!" Peter cried out, and Jesus reached out and pulled Peter up. "Why don't you trust me?" Jesus asked Peter. Then they climbed into the boat and the storm stopped. The disciples worshiped Jesus. They said, "Truly you are the Son of God." So this story tells us that when we keep our eyes on Christ, we can do anything and he will always take care of us. And when we take our eyes off of him, that's when we start to sink. So we always have to remember to put our eyes on Christ and on God, and he will get us through anything. All right, friends, we'll see you later. Bye.